let me see if I can pull up the power outages on our
Okay,
screen
great.
here, and I can see if I can get some of those pulled up here. But if you want to go ahead and start naming off, where some of the power outages are, I can kind of get a map up for our viewers.
Yeah, last time we talked, Brandon, we were talking about 60,000 without power, and it appears as if that number has grown significantly. Now we're up to 76,000 people without power, and in Charleston, 40,000 customers without power.
Yeah.
And we're also seeing upticks in Clay, Roane, Jackson.
I've got the map pulled up here on
Mason
Router
County.
4.
So yeah, it's right along I-64. That's the core of the power outages, unfortunately.
Yeah. So this is our power. This is what you're just rattling off here. Let me refresh this just to make sure I get the most up-to-date numbers. Again, this is from Appalachian Power here. Just showed you all the power outages. You can see the areas in red here. Kanawha County, Putnam County. Also, as you're heading over towards Cabell County, even areas in Wayne and Lincoln County under red right now. So Kanawha County, 40,000, about 41,000 without power there. Putnam, about 5,000 without power. Lincoln County, over 5,000. Now, here's the thing. Kanawha County, yeah, you've got 40,000 without power in Kanawha County itself. Lincoln County is only 5,000. You might look at that number and think it's a big difference. But here's the thing. There's less people that live in Lincoln County.
Exactly.
So 5,000 power outages in Lincoln County is very equivalent to the 40,000 we're seeing without power in Kanawha County. You just have to kind of base it off population. Man, Wayne County, another spot, about 10,000 without power in Wayne County. That's a big number for that county. When you sum up the numbers there based off the percentage of the population. Cabell County, about 10,000 without power there, and also seeing about 1,000 without power in Mason, Jackson County, Roane just over 500, Clay just over 500. And again, that just moved through Roane and Clay County, so there may be some power outages that just aren't being reported yet. Nicholas County, 7 power outages, but I wouldn't be shocked if that number goes up as this line is just moving through, so likely going to see more reports coming to Appalachian Power as it comes in. I'm going to go ahead and pull up some more. We got some more video, too. This is from Will Legg. A viewer that sends us pictures a lot. And I know this is actually over towards Fraser's Bottom. This was as that line moved through right there on the ridge. I mean, you could see just how that wind was accelerated up there on the hill, Brandon.
Yeah, and Doug really made a good point earlier. Chief Meteorologist Doug Harlow, he said, could you imagine if the leaves were out on these trees? I mean, we already have trees down regardless, but if we had the leaves out on these trees, these power outages could potentially be doubled. And maybe that's the saving grace to some degree, but this is still a very damaging wind event as this line continues to push over towards the Monongahela National Forest. It's getting in. It's not lasting long. It gets in, it gets out, but when it does blow through, it packs a punch. And we're hoping that the atmosphere does not recover later today because there's still a lot of wind energy in the atmosphere. And it's starting to get some...
Can we take weather 2? Because we've got a photo. This is a photo that's coming from damage in downtown Charleston. Roof was taken off a building there near Dickinson Street. This photo is from Joel Bennett. If we can get weather 2 up there, you can see it.
Yeah, you've got it up there.
And they've got crews down there that are working on that right now. You can see a lot of debris down to the sidewalk and into the street right there. But that photo from Joel Bennett from when that storm came through here just about 30 minutes ago. So this is just a testament to that intense wind. I mean, this is just one of many, instances of structural damage. And usually when these storms come through, it'll be trees down, branches down, maybe occasionally, a trampoline or something. But in this case, I mean, these are, substantial structural damage reports that we're getting here out of this system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't matter whether the leaves are on the trees or not. That's a sign of probably a hurricane-force wind gust, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, we're going to see obviously more damage reports come in. It's people get out, and a lot of people are at work right now. Some people probably don't even know, when they go home what they're, going to find, because again, a lot of people are at work. You've got kids at school.
Yeah, that's true.
So obviously, I think we're going to see more reports here. And that line, it's getting ready to move out of our viewing area here soon. But you can see that area of low pressure back to the west that Brandon's drawing there. There's the cold front back towards western Kentucky. This is severe weather well out ahead of the system itself.
Yeah.
It just kind of goes to show you the gravity of the instability we have, the moisture content that we have in the atmosphere right now as well. And the thing, that gets us is this area of low pressure is still strengthening.
Exactly.
So although we had that initial burst of severe weather just move through the heart of our area here, we've got some clearing that Brandon is drawing there off to the west. So as you're getting towards eastern Kentucky right now, just south of Cincinnati, you can see that area of sunshine. That clearing can just spark the atmosphere again.
Yeah, let's see if temperatures are responding to that, Brandon. Looks like they are down in Pikeville 72.
Pikeville already up to 72. Now that might be a spot that didn't get a whole lot of rain earlier.
That's
too.
very true.
But Prestonsburg, we know for sure, definitely got some heavy rain and thunder, and they're already back up to 60.
Definitely rain cooled. So, typically I'd say, okay, we're probably done with the severe weather threat, but with that low getting stronger in the Great Lakes, we cannot rule out another round later today.
We certainly could see, so this tornado watch is in effect until 1. We might see it get dropped early for most of us because that threat is ended, but we might see another tornado watch come out later on this afternoon.
And it is noon now, so we want to welcome in our new viewers that might be joining us for Eyewitness News here at noon. We've been tracking a severe line of thunderstorms that has moved through the heart of our area. We're seeing a tremendous amount of damage from that line. We saw 90 to 100 mile per hour winds with this line, a very disgusting line of storms move through here. And obviously there's been a lot of damage, and we're seeing a little bit more clearing off to the west. Definitely something we're going to be paying attention to, because later this afternoon, evening, we could see more of an isolated severe storm threat where we're seeing some of that clearing. So again, want to welcome in our viewers here on Eyewitness News at noon. We're going to toss it over to Jennifer McAndrews. She's standing by with our Kanawha County Commissioner, Ben Salango. Jennifer?
Yeah, Brandon. Welcome to our continuing coverage of the severe weather that's been hitting the tri-state area for the last several hours. We've been providing you with continuous coverage of the alerts and warnings coming through. We want to give you the latest right now, what's developing and what has happened already in Kanawha County, with Kanawha County Commissioner Ben Salango with us now. And Commissioner Salango, you were in the midst of all this also downtown when this happened. What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, we thankfully we had a lot of warning. We activated EOC very early to make sure that we had people there over at Metro 911 getting ready to take calls. Metro's actually had over 500 calls in the last hour. They're now taking calls from Lincoln County as well. We have tractor trailers over on the interstate. We've had numerous buildings with structural problems. I know 1031 Courier Street has sustained some damage. On my way here, the old Stone and Thomas building on Lee Street, the windows were blown out of it. There were several buildings downtown where the windows and in some cases doors were blown out of the interior. But yeah, I sent everyone in my law office down into the basement, and I kind of stayed in the middle of the firm and got some video of when the storm came in. It's very dangerous right now. Even it seems like the big event has moved through, but we've got power lines down, we've got trees down, so people need to be very careful. Do not try to remove a power line. Make sure you call 911 and just let them know. You may think it's a cable line, you may think it's a telephone line, but it may be a power line. Just stay away from it.
You mentioned Metro 911 taking calls now from Lincoln County too. Is that because of an overflow, or did something happen down there?
I believe it's an overflow, so they're taking in a lot of calls from them. But we've got reports of entrapments and houses with trees down, and so they're very, very busy. I know Charleston Fire Department is downtown right now dealing with some buildings that have some structural issues. There are trees down on the boulevard. So it's chaos right now.
I can't recall a time where we had damage to buildings in the downtown area like this. Can you?
No, it's been a while. You have to go back probably to the derecho,
Yeah.
And however long that's been, 10, 15 years now, where we had significant issues with the buildings. But most of what we're seeing, I know there were some others with some structural problems, most of it's windows and doors. A lot of them on the boulevard, we had some, and then also Lee Street, I saw some on the way over with windows out. But thankfully, that can all be repaired. So you got to make sure that you're being careful now, not touching any power lines. Don't try to drive through anything. Don't drive through high water. Our first responders are very busy right now.
They are.
And
a lot of warning for us too in Kanawha County. We heard the sirens 3 times.
Yeah, so anytime that the radar really activates that, and so the initial warning, which came around 10:50 or so, where there was a tornado warning until 11:15, that's the one that we were really watching. I just received video from the Shawnee Sports Complex. We took a significant hit there. We've got golf carts that were blown around like Matchbox toys on their sides. We've got some. The flagpole is over. A lot of the goals were destroyed. So, we're
Maybe
getting
some
video
of the fencing.
in. Fencing is is an issue. So, we're watching those and getting those videos and reports. Some of it we can actually see live from EOC at Metro 911 where they got cameras up. We were actually watching that, so we knew, in downtown Charleston, we were kind of watching it come through, hit Dunbar, hit South Charleston, and then hit downtown.
We had talked to the emergency management team yesterday in preparation of what was happening today. They said they were getting prepared at that point too. All the operations were starting to be apparently on standby at that point.
Yeah, it's important that they do that. When we activate EOC, CW Sigmund and Dave Armstrong and all of the folks out at 911, Jennifer Harold, our county manager, I know Commissioner Wheeler and Commissioner Carper are involved. I've been getting a lot of texts from them as well. So, making sure that we are there and in place. We put out all of the calls to our volunteer fire departments, to our professional fire departments, and make sure that they knew that this was coming, and so that we were anticipating that there would be rescues involved.
Lots of damage to go over to, lots of trees down, as we've been mentioning. If you're just joining us right now, just the damage alone in Kanawha County is extensive in parts of downtown and beyond, even through South Charleston. And we hear some yes, we do have some information coming in from Kanawha County too to show you a little bit more about what that looks like as well. Eyewitness News anchor and reporter Daniel Burbank is live with us right now with that.
Absolutely, Jennifer. I'm here on Kanawha Boulevard at the corner of Kanawha Boulevard and Brook Street. And I'll tell you, we have seen many police cars. We've also seen a lot of the city employees just driving by, trying to at least take inventory to wrap their heads around the amount of damage that's here. I'm going to try and move the camera here. I'm shooting this on my cell phone, but this is one of the large trees that is down here at the corner. And in fact, I think I can flip around the camera and show you this was strong enough to rip down the power lines here and damage part of the street signs. So the only thing they can really do here, because there are so many down trees and damage reports that are pouring in at this hour, is basically station people at some of the most affected areas. And so we'll show you this has just ripped down some of the trees. It has ripped down some of the power lines, dented some of the signs, but I'll show you, this is a very large tree. So when we talk about, our meteorologists are breaking down, this is why it's so important, because it can uproot large trees. This is a very large tree, and we can see just some of the roots that were ripped out of the ground here. And so this is what it looks like from my perspective here on Brooks Street. But obviously, we're going to keep checking out on all of this damage. I'm hearing that first responders are doing the best that they can. They're a little overwhelmed at the moment, but they're doing the best they can to at least take inventory of everything that is going on in all of the storm damage reports. But Jennifer, this is the latest here from Kanawha Boulevard, and we will send it back to you in the studio.
Daniel, thanks for outlining that for us there in Kanawha County. Now, we do have team coverage continuing now in Kentucky. Eyewitness News reporter Gil McClanahan was out early as the storm moved through that area right now. Gil, how do things look right now, and what did you see?
The storm just kind of seemed like it was heading east. We were actually headed to Grayson. We got into Grayson, and then the newsroom called and told us to come here to Boyd County. And so right now we're in the Ironville community of Boyd County, Kentucky. And if you can look around behind me, a witness told me that this is Danta Road, and the funnel cloud just kind of came down through this road, and you can see it damaged the roof there across the street. I was told there's some trailers that have flipped over. Let's actually go to the video that we sent, and there's a group of trailers here where I am at. It knocked some of them off of the foundation. It took the underpinning from some. It was really a scary situation. We talked with one of the people who lives in one of these trailers. This is what he had to say.
I seen it come down the road here and everything. Like one guy's neighbors, like I seen it come from that way. And it come through this way, like it was throwing tree limbs and everything all the way down the street.
So it's on the road.
Yes.
Whirling.
It's on the road, all, this whole area right here. It come through this way, right there by them trees.
And of course, being a tornado is obviously a very scary situation. Personally, I've never been in one, and I've just covered them in the aftermath. It's a scary situation, but we're going to look around here for some more damage and bring you the latest here tonight on Eyewitness News. Live in Boyd County, Kentucky, Gil McClanahan, Eyewitness News.
All right, Gil, thanks so much. And our team coverage continues right now with our crews in the tri-state area. And Eyewitness News reporter Hannah Klein has been surveying the damage and was there during the storm in Cabell County now in Huntington with a lot of activity behind you, Hannah. We see what's happening on the road. Can you describe that situation?
Yeah, Jennifer, a lot of activity here in Cabell County. Now, I've shown you earlier now a tractor trailer here. This is the Proctorville Bridge, has overturned. Now, crews just moments ago were able to get it back up on its side. Now, we are seeing a lot of heavy wind in the Huntington area. Now, this is the bridge again that takes you over to the Proctorville area. Now, they are telling me that you can take different routes to get over to the other side of the bridge. Now, as you can see, the damage of the back of the semi, just a scary scene. Now, crews told me that the driver tried to hit the brake, but the wind was so strong that it turned his tractor trailer on its side. Now you can see right now the Department of Highways and the fire department are on scene assessing the situation and putting down some salt, putting down some things so that they can get that gasoline up. Now, again, that wind is still picking up. It's very heavy. Now, we're unsure if the driver is injured. We know that he was out of the tractor trailer. And again, we're still working to get some information on him. Now, you can see over on my left, let's move over to our left and show some of those clouds, some of that storm that's heading your guys' way. Now, while we were actually heading this way earlier, we saw some trees down, even signs on the highway. So it just shows you how significant and quick this storm is just pushing through. Now, again, multiple rounds of these thunderstorms will be bringing those damaging winds, large hail, intense lightning, and flooding. So be alert if you are out on the roads right now. Now, we've been told by the fire department that drivers can use 14th Street for additional routes to get over this bridge. Again, guys, we'll continue to update you on this incident, but for now in Cabell County, Hannah Klein, Eyewitness News.
Hannah, thanks a lot for breaking down that information there. Yeah, lots of trouble on the roads around the area during the time when that storm hit. And as our team coverage continues right now, Eyewitness News anchor and reporter Anthony Kahn has been surveying the damage in Kanawha County, finding a lot here to go over. Anthony, can you break down what you're seeing right now at this hour?
Well, Jennifer, I'm on Central Avenue in South Charleston, and you can see a massive tree has fallen and been uprooted here right at the intersection of Central and Monroe Street. And they have the chainsaws going out right now. City workers are out here and making light work of this right now. They just brought in this backhoe about 2 minutes ago, and they've been trying to get this area clear. This is a busy road right here, Central Avenue, going all the way up into the hills there. And you can see just the strength of the wind that uprooted this tree. It also took down, as you can see, part of this brick wall right here as well, laying on the sidewalk, making very light work of that big tree. And crews have a steady amount of people out here right now trying to clear this area. Now, I can tell you, thankfully, it appears that no one has been hurt by this. It doesn't appear that any cars have either been damaged either. Everyone's out here just trying to get this one done, because I spoke with a city public works director. He said that there's many instances like this around South Charleston right now. There's also tree down in Spring Hill. He said there's others as well, some issues along McCorkle Avenue that they're working to address. So the city fire department has been out, as well as the city public works department. So a lot of work to be done here, but they're able to clear some of this right now. As you can hear, the chainsaws are still going here this afternoon. We'll be going around the other parts of South Charleston as well to see what else is going on. We're also hearing right now that there is some water damage to the South Charleston Library. We're going to be heading over there soon as well to take a look at that. But in the meantime, as you can see, Central Avenue is closed here at Monroe Street. Thankfully, there are plenty of other side streets you can take. If you want to go around, you can go on Monroe and go down the other way to get onto Kanawha Turnpike that way instead. So thankfully, this looks like it'll be clear up here in a little bit. We'll keep you updated. For now, live in South Charleston, Anthony Kahn, Eyewitness News.
Anthony, thanks a lot. So much happening there in that South Charleston Dunbar Institute area. Take a look at some of this video we just got in, some cell phone video right here. That is the tutors in the Dunbar area for us right here. You can see some of that damage for us right there, taken from a little farther away, actually a safe distance away at this point too, after that strong line of storms moved through. About an hour ago is when everything was taking place. Our storm team meteorologists were keeping an eye on the situation at that point as well. And guys, as you see that video too, what do you make of that?
I'll tell you what, that's intense. That looks like a billboard that was just totally
I was
rolled
gonna say,
over
that
on
looks
itself.
like a sign.
Yeah,
it looks like the
that's
sign there.
Really intense winds. 95,000 people without power now. Kanawha County up to 46,000. And we're seeing the spread further east as this line moves further east. And Brandon, this line is still pretty healthy, but it's now starting to move out of the grasp of our viewing area finally over into the eastern mountain counties. Do you have more information coming in out of Kentucky right now?
I was going to say, Jack, is there a way we could take Router 4, Jack, my director there? This is a statement from Governor Andy Beshear out of Kentucky. He said, we've had damaging winds across the Commonwealth and multiple tornadoes reported but not confirmed at this time. Be aware that some roads are closed due to downed trees and power lines. Crews are working to clear them now. So that's Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear obviously showing you the gravity of the situation here. We've seen just numerous reports of damage. This is from Will Legg. This was through the Fraser's Bottom area. You can just see those winds really ripping through there. And again, as Chief Meteorologist Doug Harlow made this point earlier, that, I mean, if we had leaves on the trees, I mean, it's already bad, but this could have been tremendously worse because those leaves on the trees would have knocked over even more trees than what we have down now. I mean, this is over towards the South Hills area, and you can see just this car. This is actually one of our producers' cars, Allison Fletcher there. You can see the tree that has been down there. On the car. I mean, it's just some significant damage. Brandon, let's go back to radar. Just kind of show our viewers, where this line is. Again, most of the worst stuff that we've been tracking has moved out of our viewing area now.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Brandon. It's a very well-defined system. I mean, Doug mentioned earlier, this probably is going to go down technically as a derecho. Chief Meteorologist Doug Harlow made that good point earlier. And you can see what we've been tracking, this kind of mini low-pressure system, this MCV, as we call it, just a very well-organized line of damaging storms. It's essentially over Webster County now, but it's rapidly moving towards Pocahontas. So we're essentially done with this line, our viewing area, most of our viewing area, which is good news. Zooming in, though, you can still see that signature. If you know someone over in Marlinton, over in Pocahontas County, Randolph County, if you know someone out there fishing or hiking, make sure they know what's heading their way. It also just blew through Beckley recently, heading down towards Lewisburg. But zooming out, we see something we may not necessarily want to see. We got a little bit of sun trying to poke through Huntington and Charleston. Our main question for the remainder of today's forecast is that enough sunlight to recharge the atmosphere in the wake of this very damaging line of storms? That's going to be the million-dollar question here, because when we look upstream, we are starting to see some thunderstorms try to form in the lower Ohio Valley. So we still have some severe thunderstorm warnings for Raleigh County, Webster County, but essentially that storm is blowing through. Now look at the storm reports, Brandon. I want to put this in the local storm reports. Look at all those reports coming in down the spine of I-64.
Those are just reports. There could be damage out there that's not reported. So as people get home from work or, get home from school or wherever they might be, I mean, this came in the middle of the middle of the work week morning.
That's exactly
here.
right.
Many folks
Weather
might
service
get more.
folks they're busy with the warnings. It takes they're the ones that process these reports and get them to us. So I'm sure that they're probably not right on all these. Yeah, I'm sure we're not only getting a small sliver of the actual reality.
I got to be honest. I did not think we were going to have this report at 10:30 in the morning. 92-mile-per-hour wind gust at Huntington Tri-State. That's incredible wind, especially for that time of the day.
We also had that 102-mile-per-hour wind gust reported down in Boyd County, Kentucky earlier too.
So, over here in Boyd County, you could see those. You said some homes were damaged, and some trailers might have been flipped over there. Yep. So here's the wider view. We got that low pressure spinning back in central Illinois. The potential problem is that this low is getting stronger as it lifts up towards Lake Michigan later today. So this means the atmosphere may be able to recharge with that southwest wind. We're starting to see more scattered type cells, Doug, in the lower Ohio Valley. So perhaps if we do see an additional severe weather threat later today, it would be a little more sporadic as opposed to this long line.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a squall line per se, although we might get another one late tonight. Not of this intensity, but the actual front's going to come through. The actual front's not really coming through until very late tonight.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's coming through in the next couple hours. You usually, in summertime especially, we'll see the severe weather kind of near just out ahead of the front.
Absolutely. Typically, I wouldn't focus on temperatures, but this kind of gives you an idea if the atmosphere is recharging. As of now, it doesn't look to be. We're in the low 60s. Here's the thing, though. Severe weather outlook, we're still under a weather alert into tonight. We have not dropped that weather alert, so that weather alert is still in effect. So make sure you have a way to get warnings. Download the Eyewitness News Storm Team Weather app. Enhanced risk still up for Huntington, Charleston from the Storm Prediction Center. Moderate risk near the Ohio River. That's a 4 out of 5 risk. As you said yesterday, we talked about, it's very rare to see that around these parts.
Yes. And we usually see an update from the Storm Prediction Center right around 12:30. So we might see that change here within the next 10 minutes or so. The Storm Prediction Center usually sends out a new outlook around 12:30 for the day one outlook. So we might see an adjustment to that. I know we got to get ready to toss a break here. I do want to show power outages just really quickly, guys, because there is just a tremendous amount of power outages being reported right now. If we could just switch over to router 4 real quick. You can see these power outages. This is Kanawha County right now. We've got nearly 50,000 people in Kanawha County without power right now. This is coming directly from the Appalachian Power website. Putnam County reporting 7,000. In Cabell County, there's now over 10,000 without power. And Wayne County, I mean, this is typically one of the smaller counties here. Over 10,000 are without power in Wayne County right now. In Lincoln County, you've got about 6,000 without power. I mean, Fayette County numbers are starting to skyrocket too. 14,000 there. And anywhere you see the orange shade, so as you're getting through Roane County, over towards Clay, Nicholas County, there's anywhere between 500 to 2,000 without power. I mean, Logan's reporting 700, 800 in Boone County. So again, just a significant amount of power outages. And before we toss a break, just want to give you again a big reminder here. There is going to be a lot of power lines down. And those power lines, you want to treat them as live power lines. So if you see it on the road, whether you're walking the sidewalk, if you see a power line, don't approach it. Don't drive up to it. You want to turn around immediately. You almost want to treat it like a flood. We say turn around, don't drown. Turn around, don't shock. I mean, that might be just a way to to think about it with live power lines down here. But we're going to go ahead and toss a commercial break. We'll come back. We're going to line up with our reporters. We've got numerous reporters out in the field. We're still tracking, obviously, the line of severe storms. And we're also going to break down what we could possibly see this afternoon as this area of low pressure continues to strengthen, Brandon, and move off to the northeast. You want to keep us with us. We're going to continue to break down today's severe weather.